Welcome to episode 6 of the Extra Time FC podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be going and talking about PSG's playoff tie against Monaco. And, of course, without further ado, finally, the 9 of 16 tie that PSG is going to have, and PSG facing Chelsea Football Club. You know what? I'll take the reins from here. I said I wanted Chelsea. We got Chelsea. This club, we need to get revenge. This club is what prevented PSG from being the greatest team of all time. Yes, I'm not mincing my words. If we win that game, this on whatever it was, the 13th of July, 2025, we win the septuple, we are the greatest team of all time. We need to get our lick back. The past may be the past, but we are going. I want to be at the bridge to go and see this team. Humble this Chelsea team. You got their players also talking about, Robertson Sanchez, give me PSG so we can. All right, come. Even historically, there's a reason I'm wearing this kit. This kit, I will always remember it. Under this kit, this is when Demba Ba scored against us at the park. We got knocked out. I will never forget that day. Chelsea is a European up. Before Barca PSG, there was PSG Chelsea. Before PSG Barca, there was Chelsea PSG. After Barcelona, Chelsea are our biggest European ops, and we need to get our leg back against them. We've knocked them out before. Obviously, we all remember 2015, Thiago Silva. The year after that, 15-16, we can do it again. So I said I wanted Chelsea. Let's go. Let's run the fade again.
Yeah, unfortunately, Junior, you are speaking for yourself and yourself only. I wanted Barcelona, and we didn't get Barcelona. I woke up this morning. I checked this beautiful device I call an iPhone 15. That's what I checked. I scrolled. I clicked this button. It's called Instagram. I saw PSG versus Chelsea. I said I wanted Barcelona. You are speaking for yourself and yourself only, Junior. I wanted Barcelona. That would have been the easiest matchups. PSG fans talk revenge.
Hold on. What'd you say?
Barcelona would have been the easier matchup.
Okay, pause. So you're a coward. You're a coward. You've got no spine.
No.
Listen.
No. You have to look at this. Look at from this standpoint.
Look at this from a standpoint. Hold on. Wait.
No. Listen. I have a good explanation. Not only is the matchup more fun to watch, right? Because we hate Barca more. There's more on the line, and we get more clout as well. You know what I'm saying? Like the matchups, who I would rather be. You guys talk about revenge this. You guys talk about revenge this, revenge that. I couldn't care less. Genuinely, I couldn't care less.
If Chelsea were worse than Barca, would you still say Barca?
No.
So you're a coward.
Wait.
No.
Hold on, wait. So you're saying like if Chelsea was at Barcelona's level right now, and Barcelona were at Chelsea's level, who would I rather play?
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't mind either, to be honest. But like,
okay, let's say Barca were better than Chelsea.
Like if Barca were Chelsea's levels and Chelsea were Barca's
levels?
level?
Yeah, if they swap positions in terms of like play, yeah.
Probably rather face Chelsea.
So you're a coward. So
No.
Again, you went.
So
hold on.
Wait.
You did your mental gymnastics.
You know what? Barca fans were saying yesterday they'd rather face Newcastle because PSG owned them. If you told me I had to get
and you know what they are?
No.
You know what they are? They're cowards. They're cowards.
If you told me would I rather get Bayern or Bodo Glimt? Obviously, I'm picking Bodo Glimt. You know why? Because I'm not a complete idiot. I don't care about revenge this, revenge that. Whatever it takes to go through, I'm here for it.
Okay,
listen. When we're talking about the Champions League, we're talking about competition, the biggest competition in Europe. To be the best, you have to beat the best.
Owen, Dylan, do you mind telling him, what was their Champions League route last year? Who do we have to face in the round of 16?
Oh, bro, let me. Yeah, so basically round of 16. Imagine we
were by far better.
Relax. Okay, even before that, was anyone saying, "Oh yeah, Paris is gonna destroy Liverpool"? Was anyone saying that?
I said after that 7-0 win. After that 7-0 win against Brest, I told my Liverpool fan, we're going to win the Champions League. I told him after that 7-0 win. I believed.
Okay, but I'm talking about majority of football fans. If you put Liverpool versus Paris Saint-Germain in March of last year, you're going to say, oh yeah, everyone's going to say, oh yeah, Paris is going to win easily. Even though Liverpool were first in, I'm pretty sure, were they first in the Prem at the same
First
time?
in the Prem, they
were
finished first in the UCL.
table. Like, bro, it's a no-brainer, especially after Mbappe leaving. Bro, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Paris? Who? Why? How are they going to beat them?" So,
Like, even with your thing of you were going saying if you had Bayern or Bodo Glimt, okay, on that point, then there's a massive gap there between the two teams. Then okay, fine. I don't think, like, even though I do think that Chelsea are better than Barca, there's not a massive gap between the two.
I'll put it in more perspective. Bayern or Arsenal, I'd probably rather play Arsenal.
I don't care who we play.
Yeah, at that point, then it's small.
No.
Bayern or Arsenal, they're two of the best.
Give me Arsenal. I'd rather play Arsenal. Bayern own us, and Arsenal are attackingly not that great. Versus Bayern, who have the best attack in the world right now. Like,
okay, but then even then there, I would go and say that there's like, if you said Bayern or Arsenal, it's not that much. The reason I'm going and saying is that you can go and say whatnot. I think the fact of getting revenge is something that weighs on the balance.
Oh
if
my
everything
God.
else is even, you want to get your lick back. Because, like, we've beaten Barca. Like, hold on.
Bro. When's the last time you heard someone bring up the Club World Cup final?
Every single time you're ever in a discussion with a Premier League fan, and they go and say, "Oh yeah, but you guys got beat by Chelsea 3-0." Like, that's the thing that they go and say. If there's anything that they can go and say, like, legitimately, Owen, Chelsea right now, Chelsea Football Club is the thing that prevents PSG from basically. We could go and say anything we wanted. We could say that we're the best team ever.
No. See, that's where I've written off. You're not the best team ever. In what world are we better than 2002 Brazil, bro?
Hold on.
What?
Okay, well, first and foremost, we're talking about club first and foremost.
We're not better than Prime Barca if we win that. We're not better than Prime Madrid. We're not better than 2020 Bayern.
Bro,
what are we doing?
Hold on. How many of those teams you listed, if PSG had won the Club World Cup final, would have won a seventh?
Because they added a trophy. They added a 7th trophy. It's not like those teams could compete for them. I hate that I'm like trying to discredit PSG, but we're jumping the gun here, bro. We're jumping the gun.
Hold on. Even if you want to go and say that in terms of
we're leaping the frog at this rate.
But at that point, though, you have to concede that PSG would be the most successful team over the course of a season in the history of football, or in a single calendar year.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm not disagreeing with that part. But
just with that point alone, though, we could say we would have had the most successful club season in the history of European football. And at that point, nobody could chat to us. But Chelsea prevented us from doing that. Anytime you go and say, like, people will almost try to go and say that, oh, you guys lost 3-0 to Chelsea in the Club World Cup, ignoring the fact that we also beat Inter Milan 5-0 in the Champions League final, the biggest scoreline ever. That's why I want my revenge against Chelsea. If we'd beaten Chelsea, then yeah, okay, let's go with Barca again. Now I wouldn't care. If we'd beaten Chelsea and then, we played Barca, then it's like, whoever. But we need to beat Chelsea. For the narratives, we need to beat Chelsea.
I don't know where this "we" is coming from. We.
Bro.
Okay. Given the fact that it's a round of 16 game, to move on, yes, we need to beat them. This whole revenge gimmick, bro. I don't get it. I don't see it.
Then why do you want Barca then? Like,
because I'd rather knock out Barca than knock out Chelsea. Like, if I had to come down to who I would rather see win the Champions League, I'd much rather win Chelsea. Like, I hate Barca. Honestly, bro, like, besides Marseille, I probably hate Barca the most.
Ooh, you scared me for a second. I thought you were gonna say you hate Barca more than Marseille.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't.
I mean,
I might. Because here's the thing with Marseille is, what do Marseille have on us, bro? Marseille are trash.
That's the thing.
That's the thing as well.
Marseille are buns. Sure. We own Marseille. We beat the shit out of them every year. Like, Marseille, bro. Marseille have been whack since the 90s, bro. Marseille are buns. No one looks at Ligue 1 and thinks, oh, Marseille did this in the 90s. Like, bro, they don't. Honestly, like, now, like, if you were 40 years old and a PSG fan, yeah, you probably, like, if you were a PSG fan since the start, yeah, you'd hate Marseille more. But, like, I became a fan in 2014. I have reason to hate Barca more than I hate Marseille, to be honest. I fully agree with everything you said. For me, how many times are we gonna verse Barcelona and beat them, bro? Like, it's been in this decade alone, from 2020 to 2026, bro. How many times have we knocked them out or just beat them, bro? Fair and square.
What, 21, 24, and then we played them again this year. So that's already 3 times we've gotten like the number over them.
Like, bro,
Like for me, the Barca, like the whole, if you'd gone and told me this like in September of this year, then yeah, give me Barca to knock them out.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, like it's not like Barca's in they're not in a great deal of form either. Like you just beat them as soon as especially for me, the one thing to shut up Barca fans was the whole, oh my goodness, if we were in the final, if this, then that, FC, we didn't have so and so forth, whatnot. If we were in the final, okay, we turned up to their crib, right? No Marquinhos, no João Neves, no Kvara, no Doué, no Dembele. 5 starters gone. With our youth league team, we turned up and we outplayed them and we beat them. At that point, I'm like, what are you gonna start saying?
What's the point? Like they try to say, oh yeah, no Rafinha, and they try to add besides Rafinha, I'm pretty sure like Gavi and stuff. I was like, come on.
Oh my god, no, don't even start me. Gavi is the most overrated player I've ever. He's so buns. He is absolutely dog shit. He's not even better than my Yulu right now, bro. Like he's so ass.
Well, I mean, personally, he's not played football in 3 years.
I don't like. That's the thing. If I'm a Barcelona fan, I'm so pissed. Barcelona refused to make the bold moves they have to. Cubarsí should be gone. Koundé should be benched. Balde should be benched. Gavi should have been sold. Ferran Torres needs to be sold. Lewandowski, why is he still playing? Unk needs to let it go. Like there are so many. You need to sell these players. Cubarsi's young and has potential, so you could get money out of him. Gavi, you could get money out of him. Ferran, I mean, Chelsea probably paid money for him. There's players you need to sell. You need a new striker. You need a new center back. You need Schlotterbeck and Guirassy. That's who you should sign. If you sell those 5 players or whatever, you'll have enough money for that. Barca, Hansi Flick needs to drop the high line. Barca, you called me a coward. Barca are cowards.
Of course they are. I never disagree with that. Barcelona,
all of their creator everywhere you go and you see they're going posting the video. They were all going and saying, yeah, give me PSG, and then they're all going to do the side eye. Yeah, a bunch of flipping cowards you are. Yeah, I said literally. At this point, send me everybody. Send me Bayern, send me Arsenal, send me all of them. All right, yes, we'll go and talk about our performance against Monaco. All right, that's gonna be a GIF for Junior. But right now the Junior is I'm backing my team. And right now, all right, unless evidence to the contrary, last time I checked, PSG are the current Champions League holders, which means we are still the best team in Europe. Okay? And until we get knocked out, that will remain the same. That will remain the case.
Who is we?
Hold on, wait. Do you disagree? When Chelsea go and say
we are not the best team in the world.
Hold on. When Chelsea go and say they are the world champions, they're the best team in the world. That's facts, right? They currently hold the title of the best team in the world. All right. Likewise, PSG currently are the European title holders. So we're the best. Until we get knocked out, we are the best.
It's not really how that works.
How so? We have the patch on the.
You're telling me we beat Bayern or Arsenal at 2-legged tie.
Hold on, I didn't say that we're the best team in form or so on and so forth.
That's basically what you said. We are not the best team in Europe. You said we're the best team in Europe. That's basically saying the same thing. We're not the best team in Europe. We have to be real with ourselves.
Okay, well, hold on. So PSG was the best team last year, right?
Yeah, last year.
Was PSG the best team in October of 2024?
No.
Up until that point, right?
October.
So PSG wasn't the best team all the time, but ultimately they won, and we would count them the best team in the world, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you could even argue over the Club World Cup that PSG overall probably played better than Chelsea, right? But ultimately, Chelsea won, and they were the crowned world champions.
Yeah.
Okay, so ultimately, the only thing that matters is who has their trophy on the end. For example, you were bringing it up previously, right? The hockey game that you're talking about. I'll go and say I think Canada played better than the United States, but ultimately, you guys won. You guys got the gold medal. You guys are the gold medal champions. It could be that a year's time we'll be better than the United States, but they'll go and say, you guys will say, we're the current gold medal champions. And that's facts.
That's conversation for another day, but the U.S. were better in in the tournament in Canada. You're
I mean,
lying.
I'm
You're
not gonna
lying.
go and get there. When one team has 40 shots and whatnot, you guys couldn't generate any offense. You guys were constantly split. Like, granted, you guys Connor Hellebuck, who by the way, just for a piece of reference, plays for my hometown city, the Winnipeg Jets. Shout out Winnipeg. All right, goes and has the game of his life. Arguably makes one of the greatest saves of all time. Listen, it doesn't mean that ultimately overall. It's like you can go and argue, for example. It's not crazy to go and say, for example, let's go bring it back to PSG. That last year, over the two legs, you could potentially make the case that Arsenal were better than PSG. They had the higher XG. I think they had more shots, more big chances created. But ultimately, they'll go and say for Donnarumma, whatever. PSG ultimately won. And that's all that matters, right? That's all that matters. In a similar vein, just because you're better overall and whatnot does not mean if you have the title, if you have the trophy, you're hosting the trophy, you have the medal around your neck, you are the best. Like it or not, that's how things work. And so that's why, going back, unless I have evidence to the contrary, PSG are still European title holders. And as such, I still say we're the best. Every team wants to beat us. We are the team that you need to knock out.
That is true. That what you just said is very true. We are the team to beat. Any team, even I don't know if it was Pep who said it. Pep literally said we're still the best team in the world. Like, he said something like, oh yeah, like, we're not, we're doing well, but we're not playing like Paris, for example. He said something like that. I remember watching it. We are still the best team, right? We are the European title holders. So I do agree, for sure. Like, for sure, I agree. And you could say, yeah, recent results, really, like, the whole season, to be honest, we dealt injuries, whatever, but we are still the European title. We are the team to beat. And teams are going to take that personally. I mean, you can say some of the League One, like, not even Champions League One opponents, the way they sit back and defend is more aggressive than any other season, in my opinion, from what I've watched, bro. They can score one goal, bro. Their whole, even the strikers are playing CDM.
Disgusting park the bus tactics. They're parking the bus, the train, the plane. They're their family's cars.
Literally.
Their entire house. Yeah.
Oh, man. So, yeah, like, well, yeah, we are the team to beat still. Regardless of, yeah, we didn't completely fall off the ball. We're not playing to the heights that we can play to, yes, right now, currently. But, who says we don't completely just turn it around?
Exactly. I think the one thing also, like, obviously we'll go and discuss, the Monaco bit and whatnot. But I think what we can't start becoming like other fan bases out there where, like, we are super duper hot and cold. One day we go and we say we're the best team on form and whatnot. And the other day we're saying we were the worst and whatnot. Okay, even though
Barcelona fans.
Yeah, even though PSG are in bad form, you have to remember that PSG. Okay, yes, you're knocked out of the Coupe de France. First and foremost, there's all the extenuating circumstances. You're still, last I checked, in the round of 16 of the Champions League, and I think now the PSG, like the current concurrent record holders, alongside, I think it's only Real Madrid and I think Bayern, that basically since I believe like 2012 have always at least made it to the round of 16. Those are the only teams, us, Bayern, and Real Madrid are the only teams since I think probably 2012 for us for PSG that every single season routinely were in the round of 16 of the Champions League. Barca's gotten knocked out earlier. Obviously, all the other Premier League clubs have. So that in of itself is a testament to our consistency. And even across the season, okay, we're still first in Ligue 1. We're out in round of 16. It's not been played for yet. Like, we can't be so fatalistic all of a sudden. Now, obviously, even if we want to then start talking about form, we can't also go and say that we have been the best team in the world by long shots, so on and so forth. That is also not the reality. But we have to have a nuanced take on how PSG has performed this year. Like, even then, you can still say, like, PSG still have had good performances, namely that performance away to Barca. So yeah, the tie. How do you guys feel coming into it? I think unlike last year, and yeah, and it goes back to it, I think last year, PSG, even though I think people were starting to go and say, okay, PSG, they've done well, they would go and say that, oh, well, ultimately, it was only Brest in the playoffs. I think now that PSG, first and foremost, they have the history of last season. They've got the performances this year against Barcelona and whatnot, and the Marseille game and whatnot, that PSG can go and turn it up. I think in this game, like, you can go and say that this tie is on a knife's edge, whereas even the Liverpool one, I think most people probably would have said like what 60-40 last year, whereas this one you could say it's much closer to 50-50 or maybe like a 55-45 for one team.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't like to be this guy, but uh, Luis Enrique's management has not been good because there's one decision that has not been made, and that is benching Kvara. He was horrendous over those 2 legs. I don't care that he scored. Don't let that fool you. Don't let that deceive you. He was god awful. He was trash. Abysmal. If Lamine Yamal had those
He won a
performances,
pen as well.
if Lamine Yamal had those performances, he'd be getting crucified. He was garbage, hot trash, buns, horrendous. He was not good. He was ass. Barcola should start over him.
I mean, Barcola played both.
No.
legs.
When Dembele comes back, it should be Barcola, Dembele, Doué. That's what it should be. Kvara needs to be benched. He was hot garbage in the game.
I mean, I think it's more so like necessarily the team overall. I mean, I'm looking.
No.
here quickly.
He was buns. Don't let the foot mob rating fool you. He got the highest rating on foot mob. That the ratings are buns. He was ass.
I mean,
He was
I agree. I don't
trash.
think he was great, but like,
If you go back to my live, I was really begging him the entire game. Like I was hoping he would get hooked at halftime. He was that bad, bro. He was awful.
no, I don't
doing
think it's
nothing.
that bad. I don't
Oh,
think
if we're talking about the Monaco game now, let me say some things about this Monaco game then. Because this game, wow, I've never been so close to closing my laptop, bro. When Akliouche scored, I was like, of course he scored. Like, of course, like the way we are playing football, and I've seen like L'Equipe like criticizing the hell out of Patro and stuff like that, and with me, when I see that, I'm like, honestly, yeah, you could blame Patro, whatever, but like our team overall defensively is just so weak, and we keep pressing this point each game. Like literally each game, we keep pressing this point. I don't know when it's gonna lock in for us that like because okay, it also plays a part that a lot of teams do play 20 center backs, when we are attacking. So when we are fully just attacking, one through ball, then that's it. You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily, we're not really playing a high line. I mean, our line is pretty high when we attack, but that's what. So it's hard to kind of just blame one player. Like I don't like seeing different outlets, news outlets and stuff like that, trying to blame one player, justifying for how bad, defensive we have been. It's just unnecessary. Our whole team, our attack could score way more than we have been. How are we tying 2-2 to Monaco at home? How does that make sense, bro? I was at the end of the game. I was like, bro, if this is a league match, it's 2-2. We lost points. Like I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts, man?
You know what's funny? So I was watching the game, and actually, I peaked at 500 viewers at one point somehow, some way. When I remember the game was 2-1, I thought it was over, right? In the event, Juventus had been up 3-0, so I was on the TikTok live, and I had the PSG above here, Juventus right here, and then Real Madrid here. I was getting ready to switch to the Juventus game, and then as I'm doing it, Teze scores. I'm like, oh shit, it ain't over. And then Wout FaZe should have scored.
Oh, he could have easily.
Because
it just needed, it grazed his head. If he just got a little bit more contact, that's it.
Yeah, even without he was hitting that shit far post. Even with how good Safanov has been, he's not getting to that.
I mean, I think now I think it's gone to show, and because now people have also started going and criticizing stuff. I didn't think it goes and shows that just defensively we're not it. I think the biggest thing, the reason why, it's not one thing in particular. I just think overall as a team we're not defending well. I think if we go and you look at it in all parts, I think the biggest way I'd go and characterize how PSG have been, we've become complacent. We're not making the runs that we need to, offensively and defensively. The press isn't there. I think one of the big things is Dembele not being there. I think when Dembele is on the pitch, we press the heck out of teams. When he's not there, there's not that insatiable desire to go and to press teams. And then in the midfield as well, we're just getting beat for duels. Whereas last year we had, I would say the best midfield in the world by pretty comfortable margin. This time around, we're getting beat pretty easily in the midfield. And I think a lot of that has to do with just the intensity not being there, but also specifically when we have the ball, there's no movement. We're not moving. I think the thing that made PSG so dangerous last year is that there was movement everywhere. You could have Fabian Ruiz find himself on the wing. You have Hakimi coming in playing as a striker, Nuno Mendes going and playing in midfield or swapping. Vitinha, João Neves, Fabian constantly rotating. Whereas now everybody sort of sticks into their position. They don't really move all that much. Like even if you go and look like how often typically in games last season, our front three of 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼𝙍, 𝙎𝙊𝘾 or Dembele, whichever combination of the three you had there, like every single player legitimately would find themselves playing at least 10 minutes on the opposite wing or in the middle or something like that. Whereas now, the wingers sort of kind of stay where they are. I think there was maybe one time I remember seeing, 𝙎𝙊𝘾 and 𝙍𝙍 swap. But apart from that, there's not all that much. I think the biggest thing I go and say for that game specifically is complacency. And honestly, the thing I hope it is, and it's not a good thing, is that it's because of the level of the team. I think we saw Monaco. We said we were 1-0 up. We're sort of familiar with Monaco. We're at home. We're at the park. And we're like, we're going to be okay. Because the one thing that we need to go and do specifically from last time is we started poorly. And you could go and say that, as you guys stated, I think it's fair to go and say Monaco deserved to win that game. Not only, and you could argue, potentially could have knocked us out. Ultimately, PSG went through because of the 2 red cards. First and foremost, remember in the 8th minute, we had 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼𝘾 who had that sitter missed. Then obviously, there's the Wigfest chance at the end there. They scored both those goals. We're gone. We're out. Hooked. So I think the biggest thing is complacency. We've just become complacent. The good thing and the thing the good thing I saw is that I think most PSG fans were like, we were not pleased with the performance. I listened to the post game for most of the players, the manager and whatnot. Obviously, there was, respecting Monaco, but I think even they were aware that, yeah, they're not at their level. The thing that I'm hoping for, and I think it's just that they're doing this because of the level of the team, that they're seeing it's Monaco, it's not that big, it's not that serious and whatnot. Whereas I think that if we go and you give us, a Barca, a Chelsea, a Bayern, a City, or whoever it may be, I think we'll raise our level to match that team. It's not a good thing. I think that's probably the biggest thing that from PSG this year and last year. It's almost like if you want to go and say we're a bit like Kvara. Kvara chooses his games. In the big games, it'll be good, but then against the minnows, the games that you expect him to dominate, he's not there. Last year, PSG, we were good. Didn't matter whether it was Brest, Monaco, Montpellier, City, Bayern. It didn't matter. Right? We wanted all the smoke. We weren't talking no fades. We weren't pulling no punches. This time around, we're kind of Robin Hood FC. We say, Monaco, you guys can lose a bit of points, for the entertainment, we'll go and score. Last year, we were playing with you. We were not your friends, right? If you need to take a BTA, you were taking that BTA. This time around, we've gotten soft. We're like, you're like a father or your parents, in your old age, you've been softened. We need to find that edge that we had last year. That's on me. That's what I think.
Yeah, I actually agree, partially with the whole team thing. We're good at this level, we're bad at this level. And Luis Enrique talked about playing Chelsea, and he kind of said, he didn't really say it, but he kind of implied it, we need to raise our standard. We're not playing good, we've been ass. If we play like Chelsea against we did against this is another reason I wanted Barca. I'd be more the way we're on form right now, I'd be more comfortable with a Barcelona bad defense. And I don't even know if Dembele's going to be back for the first leg. Fabian Ruiz, he's been out with his injury for a good month and a half pretty much. So if he's not back, I'm a little worried, honestly. The team's performance hasn't been good. I feel the work rate, the biggest issue, I've said this many times, I think it's the lack of desire to win. We don't, there's nothing left to prove. Dembele had to prove he wasn't a flop at Barcelona, so he won the Ballon d'Or. Doué had to prove he wasn't some just trash can from Stade Rennais, some guy who could do skills. He won the Golden Boy. Kvara had to prove he could do it in multiple leagues. He did. Barcola had to prove he could finish. Got 20 plus goals last year. Vitinha had to prove he's the best midfielder in the world. There was a lot of Marquinhos had to prove he can perform in big games. Same with Donnarumma. There was a lot to prove for the team, right? And we did that, and now I feel it's we've lost the desire to do anything.
Feel you.
Hmm.
Like the desire, yeah. I mean, even in some of the games, you won't even see some of like the wingers tracking back like we were last year and stuff like that, which is painful to see. Even like for example, Fabian Ruiz, he's not going to be in for the first leg. I think it's confirmed, which is really bad. And looking at our setup and how we play, especially last year, the constant pressure, like Junior, what you were saying, like we didn't let teams breathe. If you saw sometimes versus Monaco, like we they beat our press like it was nothing. 1-2 turn, boom, open man, boom, they're on our side of the pitch, which was kind of crazy. And yes, I do hope we show up against the quote unquote bigger teams and matchups, but we got to get our act together. Because if we're not on it from minute one, these big teams will capitalize because they are going to be on it. Like we were saying before, we are the team to beat. Whoever beats us has the biggest bragging rights because we are the European title holders. So, it all comes down to we go there, they come to us. We had to be on it from minute one. Also, what is this like? Okay, if you watch the second leg of Liverpool, for example, we were shooting way more. Like we were actually threatening the goal. What is this 1,000 passes and we're not getting even near the goal? That's what's frustrating me. Like, we have like a million passes, right? And it's all cute and sweet. But penetrate the goal. How is Monaco gonna get 1-2 boom goal? How is who we lost to the other week in League One?
Rennes.
3-1.
Rennes.
How are they gonna just get through a couple chances, boom, boom, boom as a goal? But with us, yes, we can say yes. Defensively, people are just defending like their lives, depend on it. But at the same time, like we were saying, the movement, is not there to create these chances to get clear shots. But I feel like sometimes we're trying to walk the ball into the goal. And like sometimes we just need a shot. Like for example, when Hakimi shot it, goalkeeper saved it, boom, Kvara scored. Like we need to capitalize on that as well. Not every team has, I don't know, Courtois in net or Donnarumma in net. We gotta attack the goal. We actually have to pose a threat.
I mean, yeah, I think in this time, I'm just looking at the stats here. It's what 2.21 xG first. We had 73% possession, 21 shots, only 6 shots on target. They had 10 shots, 4 shots on target. But funnily enough, we both had 4 big chances created. So in terms of big chances created, we went man for band. It's just not normal. If I go and compare that, for example, to us versus, let's see what, Brest, second leg last season, we'll say the return leg at the Parc, right? PSG next year 3.27, 20 shots, 9 shots on target, 8 big chances created. So just go and say, even if you want to go and take the first leg, where we had, once again, next year 2.72, 16 shots, 7 shots on target, 7 big chances created. To what? Today we're going, 4? Like we're not creating nearly as much. I think a lot of that has to do once again with the movement, the desire. But yeah, you're going to look at the second goal we scored today, comes off of a Hakimi long shot. The goal that Hakimi scored last week comes off of what? 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼 taking his chance, shooting from outside the box and taking it, not trying to be super cute and fancy and whatnot. I think that's what we need to do more of and not try to go and play the extra pass every single time.
For sure. Like that's like that was a lot of frustration. It's so funny because like 2024 against Dortmund, how many times did we shoot the ball? We shot the ball so many damn times. It got so unlucky. Last year we're actually scoring the goals. First half we weren't, obviously, but the second half we found our shooting boots. But this year it's like, yeah, like I said, it's just trying to walk the ball into the goal. Stop trying to be pretty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we threw our shooting boots out the window and put on our passing boots, and that's it.
Like
Yeah.
it's annoying. Like I saw a post saying like Vitinha is like the only player besides like 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼 to get like over 100 passes in like 7 Champions League games, something like that. I'm like, yeah, but like, what are we creating? Like most of the time, like yeah, like I love that stat. Like I love that we can hold on to the ball really well and efficiently. But if we're not creating the chances and being like, I don't see a defense in like the top teams in the world, right? In Europe, right? I don't see a team right now that if we don't start shooting more, that can look at us and be like, yeah, like we can't defend them. It's impossible. I feel like a lot of teams can look at us, like I said, top teams can look at us now and be like, yeah, like if we watch a couple games, we can probably defend them. Like as long as we make sure we have every man behind the ball and we hit a serious counterattack, why not? I don't see any top team that can't penetrate us really badly.
Yeah, even like I think one of the games that I've got in mind was the Club World Cup game against Bayern that we had. I think that was probably one of our, honestly, probably last season, our toughest games. Obviously, ultimately we won and whatnot, and with the circumstances getting the 2 reds and whatnot. But I think that is probably a good testament just to go and see the big difference, because that was a good Bayern team, right? It's not some minnows and whatnot. It's a team that is going to play football against you. They're not just going to let you have the ball. Not just going to play some fugazi set piece gimmick and whatnot. They're going to try to play football. And they went and they pressed us high. And I think that's where you saw the difference, is that even though we were getting pressed, we found a way to get around it. And ultimately, you win the ball. You were like the first goal that we, scored, 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼, comes off of him, comes off João Neves pickpocketing Kane. The second goal, it's just like the tenacity and the willingness and the desire to keep wanting to go forward with it. Whereas this time around, like, okay, Monaco did press us. I think they did press us well. But it's not like it's Monaco, with all due respect. It's not like you're getting pressed by, like prime Gagan pressing Liverpool either. Like they're not the craziest thing out there. And so I think that's the biggest concern. And for me, the thing I hope is that it's because we're just like not taking them seriously, rather than it being more like systemic issue that we just haven't been able to find our level again. And I think that's it. I think it's more so the former, that we're not respecting them. Even though you go and look at like performances like Nuno Mendes, for example, I think that his last couple of performances, he's just not been on it. And I think it's just like he's not concentrated enough. He's not. I think you can maybe go and say it's the fact that we're youth, we're young, we're inexperienced, and potentially the thrill of winning everything last season, the high of that. It's sort of high to get really motivated and whatnot, and so you don't take your normal games, your games and whatnot seriously. But I don't think that like they've sort of abandoned the season. I think they do want and have the desire to go and to repeat and to do it again. But I just hope that, honestly, if we need to be like the Madrids of the three-peats, fugazi our way into the round of 16, the knockout, and then from then on, we just start, we shoot and we don't miss, then so be it. All right, I will sign myself. But, for the heart and whatnot, it's not good. I'm not going to lie, when actually you scored that goal, I was like, you got to be kidding me, bro. You got to be kidding me. And the thing is, though, at that point, though, I was going and saying, get me to halftime. I don't think I've ever said, like, get me to halftime. Like, we low-key should be down 1. And when they scored, it wasn't like a frustration. I think now, maybe with the benefit of hindsight, even going back and looking at, even though ultimately we lost and there were things that we had to improve upon there, I think that objectively speaking, and I actually must like kind of have to agree with Luis Enrique, that was one of our best away performances. Even though ultimately, I think there we were just not as productive up front. But you go in and you looked at our press, we were way better than Sporting. We just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net there. Whereas this time around now, when Monaco scored, you're like, yeah, no, they deserve that. And even when we equalize, it's like, okay, yes, of course, I'm never going to say no to a goal, but it's like, okay, they just got a red card. Again, I think it's a red card. People are going and saying robbed. I mean, he goes in, it's a second yellow. He goes in rash. Is it a bit unfortunate? Sure, but it's a foul. Then subsequently, right off that, the free kick, 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼 goes, takes on this man, beats him. I know what Monaco were doing. They fell asleep in the box there, and Marquis equalizes. And then afterwards, shortly thereafter, we go and we score. But even there and after, like, it's not like I wasn't going and saying, oh my goodness, PSG are going to go and score a third goal. I thought, like, okay, we're just going to buckle it down and be satisfied with the 2-1 result, which, okay, I'll go and say fine. But then we go and we get scared. So I don't know. I think PSG going into that game, especially at the start, maybe you guys might disagree. I felt that we were like, okay, we've got the lead. We're just going to sort of play. We're not going to go and try. Whereas PSG of last season would have been like, okay, we won the first leg. I want to win the second leg. Not win. I want to kill them. I want to go stat pad against them like we did against Brest. Brest, we were 3-0. We won 3-0 the first leg. We didn't sit back. We went and won 7-0 again. And I think that's the mentality we need to get back to.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, in my opinion, Dembele is a big part of that hunger. Dembele, when he's on the field, you can see in his face when he gets frustrated. You can see in his face when he's happy. You can see he wants to win, and he wants to win every type of trophy every year, and you can see that now. And honestly, I fully agree with what you said with the kind of laid back approach when we beat a team or like we don't see them at the level of us. But the only play I could say is Dembele, really. Like Dembele, he just looks so on it every single game. Sometimes, yeah, like not every game he's gonna be the best, per se, but you could see his leadership, you could see him talking constantly with the other attackers. No, let's go here, let's press, come up, things like that. Like I watched Dembele I watch him a lot during the games, especially when we're pressing. Because I see sometimes when he doesn't see, I don't know, whoever's on the field, Kvara, Due,
Or
whoever,
do it,
or the
Barcola,
midfield,
yeah.
exact Barcola, yes. Like if he doesn't see them doing what we're supposed to be doing, he's angry, he's mad. So I think, yeah, Dembele not being there, and not to say that we should be just relying on Dembele, but he is the best player in the world. So yeah. So yeah, like not having that to our disposal is not great. You know what I mean? So
I don't know if I call him the best player in the world right now.
No, but again, going back, we're not going to reopen old wounds. But currently, he's the Ballon d'Or winner. He is the current best player in the world.
I mean, I'd say Mbappe on form is the best player in the world. Kane's been really
Mbappe
good too.
on current form. Mbappe on current form is the best player in the
Like
world.
this season, Mbappe. The 25-26 season.
Okay, but then if you want to go and start being granular, let's say last couple like games and whatnot. Mbappe, like first and foremost, he's injured. When Mbappe, the recent Mbappe on current form.
Kane's
Mbappe
been
under
Kane's
Arbeloa.
been the best. Kane's been the best, like on form.
I mean, listen. Ultimately, all I'll say is that it doesn't really matter who's the best player now. At this point last season, we were saying Mo Salah and Rafinha were the best. What?
Yeah.
I think where did Mo Salah finish? Top 5th? Either way, none of them finished in the top 3. So
Okay, we're gonna act like Rafinha shouldn't have finished top 3, but
no, of course. But the point, I think he should probably arguably could have finished top 2. But the point is
for
that
me it was Dembele 1, Rafinha 2, Yamal 3, Salah 4th. I thought Hakimi should have finished. No, wait. I worded that wrong.
Wait, what do you say?
I said it was Dembele first,
Yeah.
Rafinha second,
Yeah.
then Yamal third.
Owen, you kill me! Owen!
Yo,
Please, bro!
Yamal finishing higher. Yamal finishing higher than Vitinha was the right thing.
What?
Oh my gosh. Bro.
Vitinha since 23, 24 season.
Hakimi should have finished higher than Vitinha.
That I can hear that. That I can hear. That's not crazy to say.
Salah should have been higher than Vitinha as well.
Okay, now, let's be serious.
No, I can't do. Yo,
now let's be serious. Let's
Wait.
calm down.
My hold on. My screen just like froze. I just froze. Hold on. What just happened? Okay. Yeah. So Salah, I had Vitinha for me in 6th. That's where I had Vitinha.
I can't remember exactly. I think mine was.
So yeah, my top 5 was Hakimi 5th. I think it was Salah 4th. It was either Salah 3rd. I think it was like, yeah, I think it was Dembele 1. Hold on, I had a list actually. Like I did a filter.
Junior, what was yours?
Well, Dembele first. I think in the end, I think I put Hakimi second, and then Rafinha third. But I would be fine switching those two. Then 4th, I put Vitinha, and 5th I had Nuno Mendes.
Okay,
That was my list.
My list pretty much, is Dembele first.
Yeah, so I had Hakimi 5th, Salah 4th, Yamal 3rd, Rafinha 2nd, Dembele 1st. That's what I had.
Anyway, So for me first, I had Dembele. Then I had Rafinha. third, I had Vitinha, Hakimi, then Nuno. So it's not too crazy different. But Lamine shouldn't have been top five.
Lamine finishing
Second?
second in the Ballon d'Or is a disgrace to football. Is a disgrace to the game, bro. Listen, I think Lamine Yamal had a very good season last year, right? However, Lamine Yamal season is overrated.
No,
Lamine
for
Yamal
sure.
last season is overrated. So, but then why do you have a number 3 then?
Because he still had a really good season. Look what Barca won. Look at that
So he's
performance.
a third.
Look at that performance. He had it. Who'd you have above him?
In the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Nuno?
All right.
Well, first, one more trophies than him. Locked him up.
Okay.
Okay, so Nuno's not crazy.
Continue.
Vitinha.
All right, whatever.
More than. Then I had Rafi.
Yeah.
Hakimi.
Yeah.
And Dembele.
Okay,
That's
so
five
what's your top five? What's your top five?
Last year for me, Dembele, Hakimi,
Do the top five exactly. Like, start from number 1 and go to number 5.
Okay, Dembele. Then I had Hakimi. Then Rafinha.
Hakimi over Rafinha. We've lost the plot.
No, as in for me, if you want to go, I'm
over Rafinha. We've lost. I had to take the headphones off for this.
No,
Rafinha
bro,
over Hakimi.
you're not,
We've
you're not
lost the plot.
understanding, bro.
Hakimi over Rafinha. Is that what I heard you say?
Hold on. Do you think that's crazy? Like, listen,
heinous work. You deserve prison time. You deserve prison. I'm calling 911 right now. That's what I'm doing. Look at this.
Listen,
Look at this. 911. That's what I should be calling on you.
If you want to go and say Hakimi, I could have put Hakimi third. But first, Hakimi, hold on. Hakimi dropped 32 GA as a fullback. What do you mean?
He did not have 30 GA. He did not have 30 GA.
He had like 27 GA.
Do you know what smoke Hakimi?
Oh my goodness,
bro.
Oh my, let me actually get the stats.
Hakimi above Rafinha is actually like you deserve jail time.
It's not ludicrous, bro.
That's not ridiculous to say. That's not ridiculous to say.
Yeah, like it's actually not crazy.
He had 27 GA.
Like this is
27 GA.
This is
as
coming,
a fullback.
This is coming from someone who thinks Hakimi will retire as the best right back ever. But
that is not ridiculous to say.
That
is not insane to say. That is not insane to say.
This is coming from someone who believes that. Like, bro, there's no way you think Hakimi deserved to finish above Rafinha. The bias is absolutely
Listen, I'm not saying absolutely. If you say Rafinha, I'd be perfectly fine. I think you could swap the two. I don't think there's much in between them. I think for me, saying Lamine Yamal third is way crazier than having Hakimi as low as he did.
No, Hakimi second is absolute. Like Hakimi second's a war crime, bro.
Okay, why? What more?
Why does Hakimi deserve to be? I need a reason why Hakimi deserves to be over.
Scored in the final, semi-final, quarterfinal. Was one of the players in the Champions League for PSG with the most chances created. Again, as a fullback, with the most big chances created. Had crazy, goal contributions there. In the Champions League alone last season, he had 9 goal contributions. That's more than 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼. Right? That's more than your 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼. You're just off rip. The 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘄𝑼, by the way, who you put ahead of Hakimi. Number 1, you can go and say that he won the African Ballon d'Or, winner, all those accolades, dropped the best, in terms of GA at least, the best statistical season from a defender in the history of European football. Best! Better than
okay.
Robertson, all those players.
Rafinha ties Ronaldo's record in the Champions League for most GA in the season. He ties that record. He gets to the semifinals. He scores twice in the semifinals. He scores twice. Okay, Hakimi over Yamal, I don't mind it. I'm talking about Hakimi over Rafinha. Like that is heinous work.
Owen, I'm with you. Where like if you want to put Rafinha, whatever, but you can't. When someone says Hakimi over Rafinha, you can't be like that's ludicrous, bro. We're talking about
because it is ludicrous.
No, it's not.
It is. Wait,
hold on. What more did you want? What more did you want Hakimi to do?
What more can Hakimi do?
Yeah, what more as a fullback? What more do you want him to do?
What more can Rafinha do?
No, but Rafinha, you can go and you can say win the Champions League. That's a pretty big thing.
Yeah, but what?
Like what more do you like? Like so, hold on. Let's say for example, we win the Club World Cup.
Rafinha won every. Okay, Rafinha was by far the best player on this team. There was no debate. even though some people think it was 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄. Rafinha was by far the best player on his team.
Yeah, agree.
Had the most GA out of anybody in the season last year. Won La Liga Player of the Season. Realistically, should have won Champions League Player of the Season. This coming from
You could argue it. Yeah.
Had the most GA, ties Ronaldo's record. Like, scores twice in the semifinal, scores in the quarterfinal, I think he scored in the round of 16. Or scored or assisted, at least everything. Like, there's no way Hakimi finishing above him is like that's not a valid take.
I mean, I can go and you can say I think Rafinha was excellent, but if we're on the topic of Rafinha versus
Wait,
Hakimi,
did you have Rafinha third? Is that where you had him?
Yeah.
I thought you said you had Nuno Mendes over him too. I was about to say.
No, I mean I think there's not much separating the two. But then I can go and you can say ultimately football is about being clutch. Like you go and you look, even if you want to go in the semifinals, I think that even though yes, he got what? He scored a goal, got an assist, and then was involved in the equalizer in the first leg. Ultimately, Hakimi came on, he did his business. He went, scored at a crucial moment for PSG, put his 2 up, and he brought his team, and then scored in the final as well. What Rafinha's done as a winger is very good, but it's not unseen before. What Hakimi dropped like the best individual season from a right back in the history of the game. What Rafinha did was very, very good. In fact, I think he's got the most ever GA in a single season from a Brazilian in Europe. But like you could like
I think he had the most GA since like Neymar, Messi, and Ronaldo in Europe too. Like in a season.
I'm not sure because Mbappe's gotten like 70 GA before. So.
Yeah, and Lewandowski hit high peaks in 2020. I saw some crazy stat like that as well. I can look at it real quick.
Nah, this is crazy. I can't believe this is even a discussion, bro. Hakimi
there's no way you think Rafinha deserved. There's no way you think Hakimi.
Hold on, but I'm not saying. Listen, we're not necessarily. If you went and argued on me and you pressed me and you said, "Oh, Rafinha over," I'm saying, okay, fine. Like, I'm not stuck up on that. The thing is, you're going to say, "Oh, it's like unfathomable that you could go." It
is unfathomable. Like, it is.
Okay,
it is.
So where do you have Hakimi? Where do you have Hakimi?
I said I had Hakimi above Vitinha in 5th. Salah is above Hakimi as well.
Oh, you can't say that, Owen. You actually can't, bro. If you watch Salah, oh, bro.
No.
Hold on, Owen. Say your top 5 again.
So I had.
You had Dembele, Rafinha,
referring
to
𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄, Salah, and then Hakimi, and then Vitinha 6th.
So you had 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄. So okay, is it crazy for me to be like, okay, Hakimi should have been way higher than 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄?
That's a more base take.
What? I'm not. If you said Hakimi above Yamal, I'm not like super angry.
No, but you were getting up in arms and us going and saying we were talking. You have a full 2 positions between the two. You're saying that not only do you think that Yamal was better than them, but you also think that Salah was better than them. We're saying that it's tight between Hakimi and Rafinha. You're saying that there's gaps between. There's levels.
There is gaps. There is levels to this shit. There is.
There's levels between Hakimi and Yamal.
No, but
no, that's what you're saying. You're saying that there's
no.
Only...
I'm saying there's gaps between Rafinha and Hakimi. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think there's. Hold on. Even if there is the gap between them bigger or smaller than the gap between him? You still think that Senor 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄 was better than Hakimi?
Yeah.
That for me, that's crazier. That's a way crazier take. That is a way crazier take. Salah in 4th. Mr. I stat padded in the first half of the season. Mr. I ghosted at any time in the big games.
Okay, against the Big 6 and the Premier League had a lot of... Yes, that's why I said Salah doesn't deserve the Ballon d'Or because he goes in the big games.
Okay, so you think, for me, I think you putting Salah above Hakimi is criminal. That is criminal. That, for me, is worse than me going and saying, Hakimi over Rafinha. Because at least I can go and back it up and go and say, Hakimi won everything.
What, can I not back it up? Can I not back it up?
With Salah, with what?
What do you mean with what? Second most GA in the world, most GA in the Premier League. I think I believe he broke like a shitload of Premier League records in that season, right?
Okay.
Like you could argue in the Premier League specifically, you could argue that's the best individual Premier League season in history.
Okay.
In the history of the Premier League.
Okay, and what did he get out of it? And what did he get out of it?
Like,
what did he get out of it?
He won the Premier League.
And what did he get out of it?
He won the Premier League.
Okay, but
won the Premier League Player of the
Ballon
season.
d'Or, the Ballon d'Or is a lot of it is won on the big game performances.
He was good against the Big Six.
Oh no, what was Salah's big game performance? Name me the actual performance.
Against City, he was good. Against Arsenal, he was good. That's big performances. Is that not?
All I'm saying.
Is that not? Because when Dembele, because I hate to criticize my own players, but when PSG players perform against City in the Champions League, when PSG players perform against Arsenal,
fine.
Is that not a big performance now?
But again, last season, I mean, if you wanted to go and start adding the context and whatnot, everything, he had the best team in the world. He was their best player. He came up against PSG. It's not even just that, you know, they lost, because you can lose. That's fine. He was nowhere. He was playing hide and go seek with Casper the Friendly Ghost and won. He was nowhere to be found. Like, he ghosted. Not only in those games, in you could argue in Liverpool's 3 biggest games of the season. First leg against PSG, second leg against PSG, Carabao Cup final, ghosting. Generational ghost session. Generational hide and seek game. And he won it. The greatest hide and seek performance known to mankind. That player is better than Hakimi, a player who scored in the final, semi-final, quarter-final, being the first ever defender to go and do so. 9 goal contributions in the single Champions campaign, getting more goal contributions, if I'm not mistaken, than Salah. No, but Salah's better.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Owen, I think you're confused. Yeah, you're confusing.
Okay, no. Okay.
The achievements that Rafinha got versus Hakimi, bro. The achievements, what we've seen, like Gina said, we haven't seen.
Okay, where do you have Salah then? Where did you have Salah?
Outside the top 5.
Oh, wait, did you? Oh my god.
Or 7, something like that.
Huh?
Yeah, that's not ridiculous to say.
Okay, let's
go and agree. We agree that Dembele was better than him.
Yeah.
We agree that Rafinha was better than him.
Yeah.
We agree. Well, I mean, we don't, but I would go and say Nuno was better than him. I'll give that he clamped him.
Factually, you can't say that. Where was Salah in the 2 legs? Where was he besides like the 20 minutes in the second leg? Where was Salah, bro?
There's no okay. Yes, Nuno was better in those 2 legs. I feel so bad because I'm discrediting my own players to prove you fools wrong.
Wow. I mean, at this point, how much is he paying you? How much is Salah paying you?
Nah, literally, he has to be paying you.
Oh my god. I mean,
he has to.
Hold on. I'm still not getting past the fact that you still have 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼 top 3. That is criminal.
Literally, that's propaganda, bro. The PR is working.
The PR is working.
The PR is working, bro. Because that's crazy. How are you gonna have Lamine in top 5 even? How?
All right,
bro, that's crazy, bro.
All right. We're just looking at stats and not the pure football here, I guess.
Oh, here we go again. Wow. I test FC. Aesthetic Merchant FC. Shimmy FC. Shimmy FC. Drop the shoulder FC. Stop this gimmick, bro.
I feel bad because I have to pull a Barcelona fan here to discriminate the PSG bias. That's what I'm doing here.
Listen, I'm not saying Yamal was biased.
Hakimi in second. What are we doing? Hakimi in second. Nuno Mendes in the top 4. What are we doing? What are we doing?
So wait, what more do you ask? What more do you ask for fullback then? Basically, my question is, what more would you have wanted Hakimi to have done?
Okay, I'm not saying Hakimi could have done more.
No, that's the question I'm asking. What more could he have done? Because I think with Yamal, I can go and say he could have done this more. With Rafinha, I can say that. What more do you want Hakimi to do?
What more could have Rafinha done, bro?
What? Could have been more involved across both legs, for example. When his team needed
two goals, and assists, that's enough. 2 goals and assists, that's enough.
He scored once. Once.
Okay, the Sommer own goal. That shit was going in anyways. That shit was going in anyways.
He literally hit off his back, but anyways,
we're counting that as a goal. I'm counting that shit as a goal.
But okay, even though he scored and got the performances, we all agree, for example, that Lamine Yamal had the better performance across both legs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one thing. He could have been better in the semifinal when his team needed him most, right? Instead of you being the best player, you're relying on a 17-year-old going and doing your dirty work. Okay, that's one thing I can go and say.
That's like saying Dembele retired. That's like saying.
But the thing is, though, there is.
That's like saying we relied on a 19-year-old to do the most in the UCL final, bro. What are we on about?
No, it's not.
This
no,
is
it's
actually
not.
hurting my stomach. My stomach.
Oh my gosh,
because bro, like.
But even still, though, the point is, even if you want to go and say, ultimately, you can go and say concretely whether you think it's harsh or not that he could have won the Champions. That's one thing he could have done better. And you know what, I will say, because this is PSG, these guys love to go and talk about, oh, PSG, you play in Ligue 1, Ligue and whatnot, you never get tested. Okay, like Rafinha, if that's what it is, all right, if we want to go, if we have to be play a bit dirty, then I'll stop playing dirty. Who was he playing against? Yeah, congratulations for stat padding against Benfica and Dortmund. All right, at the first time of adversity, you fumbled, you crumbled. Congratulations for stat padding against one of the worst Madrid sides in the last 10 years. Okay, if that's what, if you want to go and take low blows, let's go. Let's go. All right, Hakimi was doing against Arsenal, Villa, Liverpool. He was doing it against big teams. Stop this gimmick, bro. Stop. It's not ridiculous to go say, and you still have 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼𝙇𝙎 above him. You still have, for me, forget Rafinha, because I think if you want to go, fine, I'll go and say Rafinha number 2, fine. No problem. How do you have 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼𝙍? How do you have him over Hakimi?
As an individual, like if you watch, okay, listen, you could argue over those two legs, like that second, like over those two legs against Inter, that was arguably like the best performance of the season in general.
You know what? I will say it, and Owen, clip this. Lamine Yamal's second leg performance, in fact, the entire leg against Inter, is overrated. Is one of the most overrated performances known to mankind. You know what? I'll go through it. 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼 in the final was better than him. That do you agree with at the very least? Do you agree with that? Oh my goodness. You know what? Dylan.
Bro.
Wait. Owen, do you have a Barca shirt underneath there? Take off your hoodie. Take off your sweater. What team you supporting?
You see me kissing the badge, bro.
What the heck? What is this PR?
Bro, the PR works. The PR works.
Wait, Dylan, what is he saying? I hate Barca more. Really?
Do you?
Really?
Do you?
Look at the propaganda you're pushing. What?
Earth.
Wow.
This is just noise pollution, Owen.
Oh my god. Wait, Owen. You know what? Owen, then let's pause. Owen, who had the better Champions League campaign last year? 𝙎𝙊 or Yamal?
I mean, I would say the Yamal performances were better, but like if you look at the overall campaign, I guess you'd say 𝙎𝙊 because they had the same amount of GA, and 𝙎𝙊 won the competition and won Young Player of the Season. So I guess
how would you say the performance was better?
Like the individual performances of Yamal were better.
So 𝙎𝙊 getting the most goal contributions ever in a Champions League final.
If you go back and you like watch the games, watch
the game FC.
You watch
the game FC. I test FC.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna use.
Stop this gimmick, bro. And even then, it's not like 𝙎𝙊 doesn't pass.
You know what's funny? In your your reviews, your long YouTube video reviews, there are times where you say, if you looked at this rating versus watched the game, you would say this player played worse than that, this or that. I'm using your logic.
Okay, so do you want to go through the actual thing and actually talk about the performances between the two? So you think Lamine Yamal's, which performance do you think was better? Do you think both of his performances against Inter were better than 𝙎𝙊's in the final? Or just one?
I think Yamal's second leg performance against Inter was better than 𝙎𝙊's final against Inter.
Okay, let's go through it. So let's go second leg only. So, first and foremost, let's go and preface by stating that 𝙎𝙊 did in the Champions League final, whereas Lamine Yamal was in the semifinal. First, force one off. 1, 2. This is just setting the layout. Okay, we're building our base. We're setting the foundations. So it was in the Champions League final for 𝙎𝙊, whereas Lamine Yamal did in the semifinal.
Okay, Yamal was playing against
No.
Yamal was playing in the San Siro, where they had a crazy record. Some like they haven't been beaten over like 1,500 days.
Okay, but again, I'll go and say 𝙎𝙊 did in the Champions League final. Okay, that's one. Number 2, they played the same team. So we can't go into all, but they played the same team. In fact, you could go and argue that's that second time. Inter was after that Barca game, they basically started resting all their big players. They were Lautaro's, they're all those players. Basically, you never saw them again in Serie A. So they played this, but we're going to say they played the same team. Okay. Now that I'll go and say that, first and foremost, off rip, the pretty clear stuff. Doué had more GA over both legs. Lamine Yamal, for all the 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼𝘶s, shimmies and whatnot, you got one goal. First leg, it's cute. GA is not everything. GA is not everything. But ultimately, Doué is the first ever player in the history of the Champions League to get 3 goal contributions in a single game. Ronaldo's never done it. Messi, Benzema, all those, they've never done it. Number 1. For me, this is a big thing. We constantly go and hear that, Lamine Yamal, it's not just about the J, it's the chance creation, it's all those things, the creator, so on and so forth. So Lamine Yamal's supposed to be this, great chance creator, and he is a very good chance creator. So explain to me why. In 67 minutes, 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼 Doué had as many chances created, not only as Lamine Yamal in the second leg, but across both legs combined for Lamine Yamal. He had 3 chances created in that 67 minutes. Lamine Yamal had 3 chances created across both legs. Across both legs. You can go check it. You know what? I'll give you your time. Go check it. Go check it. Go on FOMO. Go on SofaScore, wherever you want to go. 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼 Doué in 67 minutes against Internazionale Milano had as many chances created as 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼 Fue. Lamine Yamal had 2 chances created in the first leg and 1 chance created in the second leg. Even if you want to go and say, oh yeah, but it's just that Yamal.
I remember Lamine Yamal having like 8 chances created or some shit.
Nope. Maybe dribbles, maybe 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼s, duels or something like that. But chances created, no. Even if you want to go and say, oh no, but it's that like, oh, Lamine Yamal was really unlucky, the keeper and whatnot. And he's providing really good assists. Okay. Doué had the higher expected goal contribution, so XG plus XA, so expected goals plus the expected assists. Doué's was 1.22 versus 1.02. And again, mind you, that's Doué playing 67 minutes. Lamine Yamal played 210 minutes across both legs. Just because Lamine Yamal completed 14 dribbles, did a couple 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝙄𝘼s, doesn't mean his performance was better. Ultimately, Yamal had volume. Yamal had the ball every single time, but Doué had impact. Remove Doué's goal contributions, and the final things change completely. Lamine Yamal, you change things, Barca still lose. Obviously, Barca wouldn't be as good, but the result would be the same. You go in that second leg, yes, Lamine Yamal was super good, but ultimately, he's not the catalyst that gets them back into that game. It's their fullbacks. They're also heavily criticized fullbacks. They're the ones who get them back into the game. And ultimately, if I want to go hit below the belt, ultimately you can go and blame the equalizing goal upon Yamal instead of going and doing the sensible thing, going to the corner flag, wasting the time. Lamine Yamal decides to play God, decides to play hero ball, shoots it. In fairness, it was a good shot. He was unlucky, hits the post, goes out for a throw in. They go on the other side, bang, they equalize with 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝙄𝘼. You could go and partly put that on 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝙄𝘼 Fue. Again, you go and you look at remove your goal contributions and the result stays the same. Football football ultimately is about decisive moments. It's not about Instagram reel highlights. If that's what you want to say, who is the better entertainer? Fine, I'll go and say Lamine Yamal. But who was the more decisive? It was 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝙄𝘼 Doué. In 25 years' time, are you going to go and remember? Oh, I remember Lamine Yamal had this generational performance. No, you're going to remember 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝙄𝘼 Doué scoring 2 goals, getting an assist in a Champions League final. Never been done up to that point in the greatest ever Champions League final win. Doué stepped up when everything was on the line. Yamal entertained, Doué delivered silverware. All right? Dribbles do not win you Champions Leagues. Goals do. And I rest my case on that. This gimmick of, you know what? I think a lot of this, to prove that performance is nothing but PR, you know what? How is Lamine, and we're PSG fans, so this is going to be good. Cast your minds back to the 2023-2024 season. How is Lamine Yamal's performance in that second leg better than Sancho's in the first leg against Nuno Mendes? Cast your minds back. How? I've got the numbers to prove it as well. In that performance, Sancho had 1 less successful dribble. Lamine Yamal in the second leg against Inter had 14 successful dribbles. Sancho had 13 in that game against PSG. And mind you, he played less minutes. That game was only 90 minutes. Lamine Yamal played 120 minutes in the second leg. So if you want to go and say that the dribbles per 90 or whatnot, it's higher. He had more chances created. He had 3 to Lamine Yamal's 1. He was also dispossessed less times. Lamine Yamal is a high volume player. He gets a lot of dribbles and whatnot because he gets the ball all the time. But even despite that, he was dispossessed 6 times in the second leg. Sancho was dispossessed once. And if you want to go and say Lamine Yamal, ground duels this, ground duels one, Sancho had a higher ground duels percentage win. His successful rate for ground duels was 70% to Lamine Yamal 64. So based on that, concretely, you're talking about 2 semifinals of the Champions League. The stage is the same. You can say the caliber of teams is the same. And if anything, I'll go and say that Sancho did it against a better fullback. He did it against Nuno. He had Nuno on the ropes. Lamine Yamal was doing it against a failed winger in what's his face? Di Marco.
Di Marco. Okay,
So
but you
how
could
can go
argue.
and say-
You could
No, but
argue.
how can you go and say? How can
You
you
could
go and
argue.
say?
Listen. In my opinion, last season at that time, I thought Bastoni was the best center back in the world.
Okay, but he wasn't going necessarily against Bastoni every single time. He was going mainly against
DiMarco
DiMarco, and he was hooking
Mkhitaryan.
him. Okay, yeah, a wash Mkhitaryan and DiMarco. Whereas Sancho was doing against, even though granted it's not the Nuno Mendes of last season, but a young fit-ish because Nuno Mendes was coming back from injury, but a Nuno Mendes. So how is that performance? Nobody goes and talks about, oh my goodness, Jadon Sancho against Barcelona. It was a great performance, but I wouldn't go and say that's one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. So basically, at this point, how if you're going and saying that Lamine Yamal's performance was better than Dewey's in the final, are you saying that performance was better than, for example, Ronaldo scoring hat tricks against Atletico Madrid, scoring hat tricks against Bayern in 16, 17 those years?
You know what, Junior? I'll give it to you. You proved me wrong.
All right, there you go.
I'll accept defeat.
Thank you. It's about time.
Oh,
Fine, the
merci.
World Football,
Thank you.
don't get me wrong. I think Lamine Yamal's performance last year was one of the best performances last year. But people are putting that performance into conversations.
No,
it should not be in.
I've heard people have said it's the best 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘼 performance ever, which I disagree with.
I mean, I just go and show it. How is it better than Sancho's performance?
It's definitely not better than Neymar's in the Copa America final, or Neymar against Bayern in the second leg, or Vinny.
Or Neymar against Atalanta.
No, Neymar got an assist that game.
Oh yeah, he got an assist. Yeah.
Vinny against Bayern Munich in the second leg.
Okay, but people, as in, I'll just go back. How was that performance better than Sancho? That's why for me, all this stuff is PR. I just went through the statistics. Sancho, how is it better than Sancho's?
It's PR and age. Like age was
Yeah,
a big
PR and
part.
age.
I do think the age factor, because I've said this on numerous occasions. I think if Lamine Yamal
If Lamine Yamal is 25 years old,
Lamine Yamal was the same age as Dembele, he wouldn't have got top 3.
Oh, bro.
100%.
Oh my god.
But grass is
bro,
green.
you wouldn't even
Grass
be
is green.
scratching Ballon d'Or.
Grass
If
is
someone
green.
put his name with Ballon d'Or, they would just laugh, bro. So that's not even that's nothing, bro. Like, but it also helps big time that he plays for Barcelona. So
Okay, so based on that, if we've now established that, again, it's not to say Lamine Yamal's performance against Inter was really great, one of the best performances last year. But we've established now that Dewey's performance was better. Dewey was a better Champions League player last year. Lamine Yamal was not the best player in the Champions League, not the second best player in the Champions League, not the third best player in the Champions League. Heck, didn't even win best Champions League young player of the season. Dewey had a much better Champions League campaign. I didn't even get onto that. Not only did Dewey get more GA than Lamine Yamal, all right? Playing less minutes than him. He played 350 less minutes in that last year's Champions League campaign. That's equivalent to 4 games, but he got more GA than him. And he did it against better teams. He had more chances created, more big chances created, more goals, more assists. The only stat that Lamine Yamal beats him on is the EK points of dribbles. So, okay, if you want to go and say, give Lamine Yamal the dribbler d'Or then. But we're talking about Cacho, the best player, the best overall player. Lamine Yamal's not there. So, do you now still have Senor DK in your top 3?
It's too late to change it now.
but
Like, it doesn't matter. At the time when the Ballon d'Or was coming around, that's what I had it. That's what I had. I'm just giving what I had it at the time. I'm just telling you honestly.
I'd have put him 6.
Now I'd change it, yes. But I'm just telling you what I had it at the time. I wouldn't have Lamine Yamal top 3 now. But at the time, I'm letting you know what I had it at. I'd still have Salah over Hakimi, by the way. I still would have that.
You made me sick.
I would
That
not.
opinion right there,
I would
bro.
not have Lamine Yamal that high if I had to look at it now.
Honestly, I'd rather you go and say you put Lamine Yamal third than I think for me putting Salah above that's criminal. For me, that is genuinely criminal.
Not really.
But hold on, why do you again? Because now you're just basically gonna go and compare. Oh, but look at all the G that he got and whatnot. Which granted, yes, but Hakimi's a right back. You're not expecting him to go and get all that. And despite that, he still got excellent GA for his position. And for me, it's not that. For me, the biggest thing is the performances. Name me. You said oh and whatnot. Oh, he performed well. Name me the performance he had against a big team. The actual game. At least
The
with Lamine Yamal, we
cities,
can.
the Arsenal is
Which
in
one
the Premier
specifically?
League.
Which
In the
one
Premier League.
specifically?
In the
Give
Premier
me
League.
the one performance specifically. Lamine Yamal, I can go and state second leg against Inter. I can go and state the Super Cup final against Real Madrid. I can go and say the Copa del Rey game against Atletico Madrid. There's actual names I can give you for the performances. With Dembele, I can go and give you performances. With Doué, I can give you named performances. What's the one for Salah?
Okay,
Off the
okay.
top of your head.
Okay, top
Well, then
six.
that's
So
the-
we're talking about
thing.
Big Six games here because those are big games. Against Man United, 3-0, a goal, 2 assists, man of the match. All right. Against Chelsea, that's a big game. Salah scores and assists. Against Arsenal, Salah scores. Against Man City, Salah scores and gets an assist and gets man of the match.
How many? Hold on. How many of those were non-penalty goals?
Wait, let me go back. I have to go all the way back. All right, so we're starting back at the top. So, Man United, a goal, non-penalty, and then 2 assists. And then against Chelsea, a goal, pen, but an assist. Oh, I just fucking logged out of it. Lovely. So that was the Arsenal game I just mentioned. No, it was the Chelsea game I just mentioned. Oh my god, why is it taking so long? Alright, so against Arsenal, Salah, non-penalty goal. And then against City, Salah, goal, pen, but an assist as well. Against Tottenham, 2 goals, 2 assists, man of the match. Against Man United, goal, pen. Would you consider Aston Villa a big game last year?
I mean, sure.
So against Man City, goal, assist, man of the match. Against Tottenham again, goal. Against Liverpool, I don't even think he played. Yeah, he didn't even play. No, he did. He stunk up the place. And then against Arsenal, do GA. I mean, that's still pretty good. So he performed in like the big games that matter. Like those last 2 games, they've already won the league by then.
So are you saying that what Spurs at home last year, mind you, Spurs bad Spurs
they were European champions last year. What's your point?
Okay, but you look at the quality of the Spurs. But either way, this is a league game. All of a sudden, you're going to say that that's what equivalent to a Champions League quarterfinal.
No.
Okay.
Okay, but it's against the same opponents technically.
No, but then the game is not the same. Like PSG is going to play Monaco again in a couple weeks now. It's not going to be the same game. PSG is going to play Monaco at the Parc des Princes. It's not going to be the same game. In fact, I'll probably bet we're probably going to go and smack him that day. It's not the same game.
I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying Salah performed in the big games that. Okay. Yes, the Champions League.
But in the biggest games that mattered, when something was actually on the line, not in the 38 game season where you can catch yourself up, right? In the 3 biggest games of the season, where was he? ¿Y qué fue? ¿Dónde está? The both legs against PSG and had a generational go session in the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, with Salah, what he did last year, don't get twisted. Yes, we all know Salah's quality, but it's getting a bit overrated now. Like let's relax a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, you could argue it's the best individual season in Premier League history. Like that's a legitimate argument. But so how is it overrated?
Okay, but luckily in football, there's more to football than just the Premier League.
Okay, well, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying.
Okay, but you're going and comparing it to
top. He helped his team.
Then fine. He
helped his team get top of the league phase. He helped his team win the Prem. Like the Premier League is by far the best league in the world.
I mean, okay, maybe we call down the superlatives there, but okay, yeah, this is the best.
The Premier League is by far the best league in the world right now. Right now, yes.
Based on what? Like quality?
Just overall, what league is better?
I'm not denying. I'm not disagreeing with your point, but ultimately, you can go and argue also that
all time, I'd argue La Liga and Serie A is better.
Okay, but even then, you could go. Would you also agree though that last year's Premier League was one of the weakest Premier Leagues?
I mean, not you still had Arsenal make the semifinals. Like you had
Arsenal, but
Liverpool.
like Liverpool won the league like pretty comfortably, and Liverpool weren't stellar either.
I mean, they were in the league, and they were up until they like
Not really.
PSG.
Like you go.
PSG broke them, bro. Like you could say that.
I mean, and who exactly plays for PSG? Exactly.
Bro, I just think Hakimi. People are gonna downplay. I can't believe I one of my brothers, Paris Saint-Germain fan, Owen. You can't underrate
I'm
Yeah.
not
Hakimi.
underrating Hakimi. I said on numerous occasions, I think Hakimi will retire as the best right back of all time. I think Nuno Mendes will retire as the best left back of all time. I said Hakimi and Nuno Mendes have the potential to be the best fullback duo there ever is. These are players I love with all my heart.
Okay,
I
but
have
then based on that,
multiple
when
Hakimi
Hakimi,
jerseys,
but
not
then when
just for no
Hakimi
reason.
when Hakimi drops the most goal contributions, arguably the greatest season of a fullback in the history of football, wins basically every single trophy, bar the Club World Cup. What more do you want him to go and say and
Okay,
do?
Salah dropped the greatest season in Premier League history.
Okay, but I'll go and say the greatest season in the Premier League history. First and foremost, you could argue that it's not definitive. You can go and say that Holland or it's not concrete. Hakimi statistically and by the trophies he won had the best season.
Salah statistically had the greatest individual season in Premier League history. If I'm fact check me,
GA.
fact check me, Junior, fact check me, fact check me, fact check me. Strasbourg are up
I'm
1-0
even
in
taking
Lens.
13, 14 Suarez, but let's continue the conversation.
Strasbourg are up 1-0 in Lens right now. It's the 51st minute. That's huge.
Beautiful.
PSG would love that win because if we win tomorrow against Le Havre, we'd go.
So in a 38 game season, it would be.
Okay.
Hold on. So Andy Cole in a 40 game season, he got 34 goals, 13 assists. Salah got 29 goals, 18 assists. And then Alan Shearer got for Blackburn Rovers 34 goals, 13 assists. So it's not the most in Premier League history.
So it's the most in a 38 game season.
Okay, but then that's already, you're bringing it down.
How? It's the most in a 38 game season. I'm not bringing it down.
But it's not the most. It's not the most. And even you said it's the greatest season in Premier League history.
Okay,
so.
the greatest season in the 38 game Premier League.
Okay, but now you're already adding,
that's
clauses
not the same.
No, but
bro.
Hakimi had the best season in the history of a left back. Period. And your people like that. For me, that's a greater achievement. And then, ultimately, aside from the numbers and whatnot, the play. I'm not saying Salah had arguably the best season of his career and whatnot, but you look at Hakimi, what he did. He won everything. He was instrumental everywhere, the entire way. You could almost go and say it's not crazy to start going. He's revolutionizing the position and how up and down he is. Obviously, people like Dani Alves and whatnot have done it, but to the degree coming into midfield, bombing up, playing as a striker at times. Like Salah after a couple of years, his season, sure, it's going to be in the record books and whatnot, but I'm not going to go and say, oh my goodness, shiver me timbers. 50 years from now, you're going to be talking about your children about 24, 25 Salah.
No, because I'm not a Liverpool.
Okay, but you will be talking
I'm
about
a PSG
Hakimi.
fan. I'm not a Liverpool fan. If I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be bringing it up.
Okay, but Hakimi's 27 goal contributions as a fullback. Getting more goal contributions in the Champions League. Let's talk about the best of the best competitions. A competition they share in common. Hakimi had more GA than Mr. Salah.
There's just no way you think Salah's season is worse. I hate discrediting Hakimi because I love him, but
Bro,
again, I go back and I go and say, what more do you want Hakimi to have gone and done? Because with Salah, you can say a lot more he could have done. Right? He could have performed better first and foremost in the games. Could have gone further in the Champions League. For all the being first in the league phase, being first in the Premier, even the Premier League campaign. Yes, it was good, for him individually, but that Liverpool team, it's not the most dominant. Liverpool won the title with 10 points, and they ended up getting 84 points only.
whatever, man. Whatever.
So like, so with Hakimi, what more did you want Hakimi to go and do? What more could he have done to have overtaken Salah?
Like,
which is win the Club World Cup.
I mean, I guess I just think Salah's like. I just think the way he performed, like the Premier League, like how
Way that he
that was
performed
like.
when, where, and when, in which game? Which the big games?
I told you the big Premier League games.
No. Okay, do you think his season was the best Premier League season of all time?
As an individual, yes.
Yeah, that's all I had to say. Because for me,
but I'll go a step further. If he's not on that team, Liverpool don't get top 4.
No, I don't. The Premier League that year, last year wasn't. I mean, he was instrumental.
He was extremely instrumental. Extremely.
Okay, so
by
you
far.
Okay, so you think
no.
Hold on. So you think that let's go. Let's say for the sake of
If you just remove Salah from 24-25 Liverpool, they don't get top 8 in the Champions League, and I think they'd be in the top 4 race.
Hold on. Why don't you think they get top 8 in the Champions League? Like, was he that like instrumental for them in the league phase?
I just think he's like the importance, the like.
Like, okay, hold on. Even let's say
when you're coming up against Salah last season, you were thinking like you were like PSG, the way they like I think you were looking at Salah as the big threat if you were going up against Liverpool. Because who else are you looking at? Like, you're not looking at Gakpo as dangerous. You were looking at Darwin Núñez or rest in peace Diogo Jota. You weren't looking at him as threats on the pitch. Were you?
Okay, so
no.
So let's go and take your argument that it's the greatest Premier League season ever, and let's go and say this Premier League season was generational. So for you, the greatest Premier League season for
statistically
a winner,
as an individual.
Well, first and foremost, in a 38-game Premier League season, right? Let's go and preface by saying that then is better than the greatest ever season dropped by a fullback, winning every single trophy bar one. So for you, basically, you do well in the Premier League. So basically, for you, if Declan Rice and Arsenal win the Premier League this season, but PSG with Vitinha win everything, Barca and whatnot. For you, Declan Rice should win the Ballon d'Or or should be ahead of Vitinha. No, but that's basically what you're going and saying now.
No, Vitinha is the better midfielder. Salah was like the better individual player, you could argue.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Did you watch more Liverpool games than
bro, I don't even know. I don't even know how to say it. I don't want to discredit Hakimi. I feel like I'm making Hakimi look bad here. Hakimi is. I give Hakimi so much love, but we're just giving.
But would you not say that the Ballon d'Or specifically is played on the big game, the decisiveness thing, like being decisive for your team? Yes, he was decisive. We'll go and give you in the Premier League. But
Salah was by far the most important. Salah was a more important player for Liverpool than Hakimi was for PSG.
Okay, but you can go and say Salah was a more important player than Dembele was for PSG. Like, just because you're more being the MVP, the most valuable. Like, you could say Bruno Fernandes is arguably the most valuable player for any team. Doesn't make him the best player in the world.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. So for you, basically, just because of that Premier League campaign, all of a sudden now, ultimately, I would go and say it's the big games. Messi won the Ballon d'Or in 2023, not because of, the average, how he was in Ligue 1. It's for what he did at the World Cup. When the lights are the brightest, right? When the time gets going and the going gets tough, right? When you actually need to go and be there to go and perform, where are you? Salah ghosted. Salah hid under his blanket. Hakimi was there. When the two faced each other, Hakimi took the PSG flag, placed it at Anfield, in Salah's crib. That's all I'll say. That's true. I rest my case. I rest my case.
You did say 11-12 Neymar is better than any type of Neymar to ever come. You know what I'm saying?
No. I said 11-12 Neymar is better than any Neymar, Barca. Right? Yeah.
Which is ludicrous because what Neymar did in the 14-15 season with Barcelona is very similar to what Hakimi did in terms of goals. Like, not place or wherever, but goals in important moments.
Oh my god. 11-12 Neymar, like 15-16.
I'm not even trying to make that.
15-16 Neymar. 15-16 Neymar is better than 14-15
the conversation we were having last week.
I mean, that's not crazy to say. 15-16
Neymar is better than 14-15 Neymar.
I'm not saying that's
15,
that's
16.
not-
No. 11, 12 Neymar is better than 14, 15 Neymar. You could argue 15,
That's
16.
crazy. That's crazy. Let's put some respect on his name.
we can't talk about that now because then that's another hour added onto.
Yeah, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching episode 6 of the Extra Time FC podcast. I will make sure to leave the link in the description to all our socials down below. Make sure to follow, subscribe to all of us. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay blessed. Have a good night.